Hello, lovelies. Hello, family. This is Kimberly Purpose, and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to do another video. This time, I want to talk about something somewhat serious. That is serious, and it definitely needs to be something to discuss. Definitely need to discuss. But I apologize for you all for not being, up here recording my videos like I normally do. It's just that I've been away for a minute because I've been busy with work and school and had a lot going on. So I just had to take a little break, and but I am back, and I want to make sure I be back and try to make sure I record more videos for you all. I had a few of you all comment on my posts, on different videos, asking me, where I'm at, and am I going to post more videos? And I am. But I know I was coming back. I just had a lot of things going on in school and work. I was inundated with a lot of stuff that I had to try to catch up on. But yes, I'm here. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to talk about, the lynchings. There have been some people deaths of African Americans in trees. Lynchings, and a lot of people, the police is pretty much calling these types of deaths suicides. But a lot of people are very skeptical about this because of the history of lynchings that took place here in the Americas. But this particular article talks about some of the people who are skeptic about these deaths. And then the name of this article is called Fear of Lynching in Atlanta Area After Two People Are Found Hanging from Trees. Both deaths are reported to be public suicides. And a lot of people are very skeptical about these particular deaths, and rightfully so. I am one of them as well. Even though I am a licensed therapist, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist here in Metro Atlanta, and I do work with different clients who have mental health issues. I do believe that some people, as African Americans, do suffer from mental health issues, and some of them do suffer from suicidal thoughts. I do know that does occur within the Indigenous community. But I also know that there's a strong history of lynchings that took place here in the Americas. And they try to oftentimes, the media try to say, brush it over, and you see it in history books. Oh, it's not happening no more. The last lynching took place in 1968. You see that all the time. And if you go to the NAACP website, it says here for 1888, 82 through 1968. But these numbers are still, a lot of stuff that happened in the past that was not documented. A lot of the documentation occurred when, I think it was Ida B. Wells. She the one who wrote the book, who documented all these lynchings, and a lot of people wanted to kill her. And did not like the fact that she was documenting what was taking place. But she did while she was living. Some of these earlier documentations were documented in her book. And also, it's according to this, it's the last lynching in 1968, but we all know that this is not true. They say that Jim Crow has ended, which is not true. A lot of the things that took place in the past are still taking place today. And so I believe too, that Jim Crow has never ended. I believe that it's a different form. It's a modern day form of Jim Crow, but it's still here, because a lot of the things that the people were facing back then, we're still facing today, but it's a different tactic, but it's still literally the same outcomes. of us losing land, losing our home, losing family members. I'm sorry about that. Losing family members, and you know, and due to the violence of race supremacy, pretty much. But we're going to go back to, but this pretty much gives this particular article, which was written by the NAACP, pretty much goes into details of all the lynchings that took place in the past. I wouldn't say all, but it gives a vivid account of what took place and how it happened here within the United States, and and how it pretty much stemmed from slavery. When they released the slaves from being, released the American Aboriginals from slavery and made them free, then the Greys were upset because they can't no longer get free labor out of folks. And so what they did was they just had this massive outcry of racist national, they still nationalists pretty much, racist Gray, the KKK and all of them groups that went and attacked a lot of the American Aborigines and started killing them. And the thing is, if you look at the police brutality, it's pretty much the same thing that's going on in police killings and shootings. It's like one and the same thing. But I think the biggest problem we fear, let me get you back over here in this article, is that suicide is covering up the lynchings that's actually taking place. And if suicide is a weapon or a technique or a strategy for cops to cover up the actual lynchings that they're actually doing. Because with the racial tensions that's going on here in the Americas, when Obama came into office, President Obama, and when Trump became office, the racial tension has steadily increased between the Greys and the American Aborigines, the Indigenous people. You see this violence of through hate crimes. And what perfect way to cover up a hate crime is through suicide. I do, like I said, I don't deny that some African Americans American Aboriginals do kill themselves through suicide. Because I actually work on the field and I actually see it firsthand and know firsthand that it does occur. My issue is the way that they died, and then given the history of this country of how a lot of indigenous people have been murdered at the hands of cops and just hate groups in general, and through pure hate. I don't think it should be swept under the rug like they've been doing, and I see it as a way of covering up and brainwashing what actually took place. And it's a perfect way because I noticed that when I've been reading some of these articles, that once it's labeled as or considered as a suicide, there's no more investigation. They don't even look at no more evidence. Evidence are just not overlooked, and it goes straight to suicide, and there's no investigation. And if a person actually got murdered for real and they were hung on a tree, then what better way to cover it up if you label it as a suicide? There's no investigation, and that can be a potential threat, a potential problem. And I think that's why I want to discuss this in the video and touch on this, because it is a problem. But I was looking at this article because I know it's an older article. It was published in News One, and it says here, fears of lynching in Atlanta after 2 people are found hanging from trees. Both deaths were reported as public suicides. It was published on May 19, 2018, and it was written by the News One staff. And it says here In the past 2 weeks, there have been 2 people hanging from trees in metro Atlanta. A woman was discovered near Walmart in College Park, Georgia, on May 14th, and a man was found near Atlanta University Center on April 27th. Both deaths were reported to be a public suicide. And I've been noticed that has been a growing trend to label all deaths by African Americans hanging on trees with ropes around their necks, nooses, as being just, oh, suicide, And I also been reading, noticing that it's been, they don't do no further investigation. So what better way is to cover it up? And I think that's why a lot of people are very concerned about, this, because, with the media trying to cover up Jim Crow and say Jim Crow don't exist. I was also mentioned too that I read an article by a Harvard professor who's trying to brainwash Jim Crow by saying, oh, everybody suffered Jim Crow, and just putting these blatant lies in her writings, which is a tactic that they use through their writings, is to brainwash what actually took place and to act like it never exists when it actually did. And that's a tactic of not holding graves accountable for all the evil deeds their ancestors had done and that they're doing to this very day. And if you're doing it, then you need to be held accountable for it. And if you're not, and you need to look at it, it is a problem. And you can't just write things and erase it and act like it doesn't exist. You did it. These people that are dead and long gone, they no longer here. Justice was never served for them, and it is a problem. And for them to just sweep out, and that's what they do, sweep it under the rug with a pen, and if you know that a person died by the hand of hate, and you automatically put it as suicide, then that's a way of sweeping things under the rug, just like they do with the killings and the shootings and all that. They try to act like it didn't happen when it actually did by letting gray cops just get away with murder, when in actuality, in gunning down people without weapons and no reason for killing them, just because they fear for their life. How can you be in a fear for life? You can have a little 5-year-old and they look at the little 5-year-old baby and say, oh, I'm scared of the baby, so I shoot him. You shoot him dead just because I'm just giving a scenario, you all. I'm scared of a toddler, so I just shot him anyway. They were a threat of my life, so I shoot them. That's just a punk way of killing innocent people, and it's evil. And they should be, anybody who does that, killing innocent citizens, should be held accountable. And that's the problem here. They're no different from the people in the 1800s that went around killing innocent people. During the olden days, during Jim Crow, which is Jim Crow of yesterday and Jim Crow of today, which is still going on. They say that's still not happening, but it is, and slavery really technically hasn't left with with the mass incarcerations, and then the gunning down of citizens, which is pretty much the same thing as the lynchings, and then having lynchings and still reclassifying it as suicide, as another tactic of covering up. But these are some of the comments I wanted to go down here. And it says here, reporter Ricky Claus wrote in Twitter on May 14th, unidentified woman was found hanging from a tree overnight near a Walmart. And she said that the investigator revealed that the woman killed herself. The race of the woman has not been revealed. However, College Park is 78% African American or Indigenous Americans, the copper colored race. So more than likely, they didn't mention what ethnicity the person was, but more than likely it was a person of color. And then it goes down here because it shows here, while both deaths are reported suicide, some people are skeptical. And you can see it in some of the tweets. People are skeptical. And me, I am pretty much getting a little skeptical too, because, like I said, I do know that there are suicides among African Americans, it does happen in different forms in different ways. But this way of lynching, I feel like due to the historic issue and the norm of today with the gun violence of blacks being killed, I feel like it should be closer looked at as murder. I think that it should be closer looked at. People should be, the investigators should be taking a closer look at it and not just trying to sweep it under the rug. And people is trying to sweep it under the rug so quickly, make you wonder, are they all in cahoots with each other? But it's just speculation. We don't know. I'm gonna still do more research on this topic because I find it to be quite interesting. And I think too, we should have our eyes open to what is really going on. Just Ida B. Wells kept her eyes open as to what happened to document what all these things were happening to our people. We here should also keep our eyes open to all these deaths that's taking place, weird deaths of suicide, trying to decipher which one is really truly a suicide and which one is actually hate crime and who is trying to get over of getting away with killing with people without having to go to jail for their crimes. Because I feel like it's a tactic or way to cover up a lot of dirt that is actually going on. And I think it's also a tactic to cover up and get away with a lot of stuff that is actually taking place. But yes. But yeah, I would love to hear what you all think about this particular article. Please like this video and thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And let me know what you all think. Do you think that there is a cover up? Do you think there is a conspiracy going on, or do you think it's actually like it is, like they say it is? Do please put your comments below. I'd like to see what you all think. Until next time, peace, family, love and peace. Bye-bye.